Hi Best Buds, it's Cathy with Cathy's Garden, and I'm so happy that you've joined me today. Today it's all about foldouts with page edges. And we're going to look at each and every one of these, and I'm going to show you how I made them. Let's take them one at a time. So I have these right here. Now this one, I punched out the flowers with a double-sided paper. So see, it's this way on the inside, and then it's this way on the inside of the other one. I made these foldouts by just folding over one end of the paper 2 inches, and then folding this one up about 1/2 inch from the fold. Now this is where the page edge comes into play. Maybe you're thinking, well, I don't have a punch that does that. No, yes you do. I bet you do. I bet you do. So let's go ahead and make it. So I have my 1.5 inch hole punch right here, and I have a piece of paper that I folded in half, and this is what I'm going to use for a page edge. Okay, you can make them as deep as you want and as long as you want, but because we have so many to go through, I thought we'd just do a short one. So taking my 1 inch hole punch, I'm going to place, well, first, this is what I first did. I'll have to take a step back here for just a second. I'm going to grab my ruler. So let me grab my ruler. Here we go. I'm going to take my folded edge and I'm going to lay it up against the grid mark. I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to place it about 1/2 inch down from the edge on the other side. Now this is going to be the depth of the scallops. I'm going to lightly draw like this, and then I'm going to take my circle punch, and this is where it's going to tell, we'll hold it down, Cathy, so they can see. It's going to tell me where, well, I better make that a little darker. I can't even see it. It's going to tell me how far down I can set that circle. Otherwise, what's going to happen is my circle could possibly be up and down and up and down, and I want it to be fairly straight like these are. So with this line, I can place my circle, and this edge of the circle right here is going to be on the edge of my mark. So right there, I'm going to punch it. Then I'm going to come down a little bit and I'm going to punch it again and again and again. And there you have it. There you have that exact pattern. So I'm just looking for my, here it is. So there you are. Well, it would help if this was a different color. But you could ink this up. You could take your other punch, if you have a flower punch, you could punch them out. You could punch some hearts out. You could decorate it with fussy cuts, but that's how you can get that scallopy edge with a 1 inch hole punch. The next one is this image, this raised image that I made with molding paste. Isn't that one pretty? Oh, that's so pretty. I did not do it on this side. You could do it on both sides. You could do it on one side. I did it just on one side, and it's mainly because I had to wait for it to dry. Now you could actually take your sponge if you wanted, and you could highlight the colors by rubbing it lightly, and it would bring out the raised image even more. So let me show you how I did that one. So here we are. Here's my modeling paste. Now I'm going to show you. This says golden modeling paste, semi-opaque acrylic texture medium, satin finish. Okay, that's what this is. Now I actually bought it recently from Michael's. I have this little tool right here. Artist Loft trademark. Let's open this up. I have a little stencil. Mine looks just like this. And I'm going to, here's my little strip. I've already folded it. I'm going to open it up for this. And I'm going to place this right here where I want it. Now I'm going to actually grab a couple of very small paper clips. And the reason why I'm using these small ones is because they're really tight. And they will hold things in place because they're really hard to actually use. Actually, I've had some of them had to pull them apart to get them on the paper. All right, so we've got those on there, and that just helps me hold my stencil where I want it. I want it about like that. So we're going to get some texturing paste or modeling paste, and you can color this. Of course, you'd want to separate it and color it up in a dish and then use the colored one. But I'm going to just use white to show you what it looks like. I'm going to hold it down like this, and I'm going to apply the modeling paste and smooth it out. So I'm using this as a trowel. In fact, that might be what this little tool is called. I'm not sure. But I'm just going to get it on. And you can see where you need to add more and where it's gotten filled in, because you're filling in the spaces that are cut out on your stencil. And I'm going to turn it this way. And when you've got it the way you want it, I just try to take off any excess. Okay, I'm going to get this back on. I want that to dry out. And then I'm just going to remove my paper clips, and then I'm going to pick up my stencil, and look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Now you will have to let this dry, so I'm just going to set this over to the side. And for cleanup, I'm actually going to be using a wet wipe. So I'm going to get it out here. And you'll want to clean up your stencil right away. You won't want to let this stay on there. Now you could probably take this into the sink and wash it off. That's another way that you can clean it. I'm just going to lightly wipe just so I can get all of that off of there. Okay. Lovely. Okay, all nice and clean, and then I'm going to wipe my trowel off. All right, now let's set this one aside. We've got that one taken care of. And I don't need this anymore. The next one that we're going to talk about is a stencil, but instead of using modeling paste, we're going to use ink. Now I put a little flat back pearl in the center of the flower, and then when you open it up, I did not put any flat back pearls on this side. It just lays a lot flatter up against my fold out. This would be lovely in a journal. You could even clip it onto the side of the page, and you could use a paper clip on there. You could actually sew it into your signature. You could do it that way and make it more of an interactive thing. But to get this, you will want to have a stencil, and this is my stencil right here, and it is 1/2 inch borders. I don't know, I bought it a long time ago. I'm going to hold it up so you can see. I don't think anything's $2.99 anymore, but anyway, anyway, let's go ahead and let's make this. So this is my folded piece. I've already got it prepped, and I'm going to keep this one folded, and I'm going to place it right on top, my stencil on top of my paper, and I'm going to use this little tiny paper clip again, and I'm going to press this down so there we go. Now, what I want to do is I want to get my ink, my sponge. Now, you can use whatever color you want. As you can see, I chose pink for this one. I think I'm going to choose the frayed burlap for my example. I'm going to get some ink onto my sponge, and then I'm just going to gently, and I like to use a swirling motion, and I'm going to apply the ink directly onto my paper. That one's pretty simple, right guys? Let's take off our paper clip, and oh, isn't that sweet? Very, very sweet. Now you could put a little flat back pearl in the center of that if you wish, or you could leave it plain. And I'm just going to pop it on here. Now you could actually use it on a large one like this. You wouldn't have to cover the whole thing, or you could cut this to fit this little piece right here. That's how I did this one right here. Now I do need to wipe this off, so let's do that. Let's just wipe this off. There we go. Now the next one is this one right here. Now this one, it didn't have really anything special. It has some lace on the edge. I've got a satin bow, and I've got 2 buttons with thread through the holes. So that doesn't take really anything extra. Just a little lace, a bow, and a couple of buttons. And that's a super cute one too, isn't it? Very cute. Very simple and very cute. Now let's see, what else do I have? I'm bringing these other ones in here. And let's lay them right like this. Oh, let's bring this one in. This one I put a tab on it, and I stamped my little page edge. I put a little doily and a little fussy cut here. And I did the exact same thing on the inside. That one's really sweet too. Opens up just like that. Once again, you could sew it into a signature, paper clip it onto a page. I think these are fantastic. Now, I've got another one here. This one right here has a dangle on it. I stamped my piece. And then this one, I put a little bit of lace on it with a label. And I put an eyelet here. This little piece right here is a digital. I'll look to see if I can't figure out where I got that from. And I put a little pearl on the end, so this one has a dangle. And I used some of my stamps, and I stamped on there. I think this was maybe one of my favorite. I didn't ink all this one. This one's not completely inked, but it's still pretty. All right, and then the last one, what I did was I used, there's my, can you hear that? That's the weather warning. We're having a thunderstorm, but it's already passed, so I don't know, it's a little late. I used the special little page edger that I have, and I added some butterflies. I have a video on how to make these right here, the butterflies that are layered up. And I've got some orange ones, and then I did the exact same thing on the inside. This would be really nice in a tall junk journal. So this is the punch that made those right here. This is how it looks. And the way that I did this was I got my piece, and you don't want to put it in your punch with the folded side. You want to put it in with the open. And then you just place it in, and you'll want to place it towards the edge. So right here on the edge, push it in like this. There we go. And then you just punch it. Now I'm going to lay this down because it's kind of, I need to have it flat to be able to punch this one. This one really is quite firm as far as the punch goes. It's punched out like that. Now this one, to get your next one in, I always look at it from this side and line it up. See if I can do it without laying it down. And then punch it again. And then of course, you would want to remove this piece right here and this piece right here. You can always punch this one more time to get that punched out, so you can see what I'm talking about right here. Or you can just cut it off right there. But that's how I got this page edge. So here's the blue one. Whoops. Good heavens. It's caught on itself. There we go. There's the blue one. I love this project. I really do. I think there's so many different ways you can use a page edge. And I'm not sure which one is my favorite because I think they're all pretty special. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, please give me a thumbs up. I invite you to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. I'll see you there, guys. Bye now.